So we have a customer out of Houston, Texas. They provide internet voice to oil rigs all over the globe. They have about 1,000 employees. And like I said, they're a global service provider in the oil and gas industry. They had a SmartNet renewal coming up last summer. They were having some pain points around SmartNet and what to do to kind of keep costs down on their renewal, as well as keep the efficiencies of SmartNet.
I'm Mike Zito. I'm the managing principal over GDT's Lifecycle Services practice. We built the Lifecycle Services practice over the last 2 years in order to manage and maintain large, complex SmartNet agreements, and also help our customers validate their install bases and help them with asset management and lifecycle management moving forward. We have a customer that's a key player in the oil and gas industry. The customer has several thousand Cisco devices in their network, and one of the challenges that they were having was identifying every active Cisco device in their network. The reason being is that they have strict networking requirements, as well as their network was segmented into 4 different segments.
They were having issues on inventory management, feeling some pain around SmartNet when they were removing devices, adding devices, when different regions were purchasing hardware, not through GDT, but they wanted the SmartNet covered through GDT.
6 months prior to this customer's renewal event, we wanted to start the discussions of what right-sizing their coverage model looked like. So what we wanted to make sure we were doing was validating their install base, and we wanted to do that with the help of SmartNet Total Care.
They wanted to make sure that by the time the renewal came around, that we were capturing everything, that the scrubbing process was complete and efficient.
Because of the strict networking requirements, we actually commissioned a server on behalf of the customer and implemented the virtual application onto that server, or installed the virtual application onto that server. We sent the fully loaded server back to the customer. They implemented it in their network, and we were able to identify the missing pieces that needed to get that renewal event completed.
One of the things that we suggested to the customer was to put this Total Care collector in their environment, that we would manage that process and manage it going forward, and this would help them keep track of all of their inventory and assets that are covered under SmartNet, and also track devices that are not covered under SmartNet, so that they can manage that process better.
The customer recognized a reduced OpEx of over 18% because we were able to identify devices that they were covering that they no longer had in their network. And then the other side of that is that we were able to mitigate risk by finding critical devices that were not covered that they didn't know about. So really helped the customer identify what they had in their network, what was critical, and ways that they could save OpEx by looking at a sparing strategy or a software-only support strategy as well.
We had a dedicated team from the GDT NOC and our SmartNet team that helped them get the collector set up and walk them through the process of getting the collector set up. And then once we got it set up, we worked with them on how to manage the process. They really were looking to GDT to manage the process for them, which this collector helped us do that, so that we can have monthly meetings with the customer, walk them through what's there, walk them through what's not covered, what needs to happen in order to make sure that the devices they want covered are covered, so that they don't find themselves in a compromising position.
The final result was that they were able to identify all of their Cisco devices in each of their 4 different segments. We took a look at each device and determined what type of coverage they would like to see on it, or whether or not a sparing model was warranted. And the customer recognized a reduced OpEx while mitigating risk while covering critical devices as well.
I think one of the most important things about a multi-year renewal is getting in front of the renewal with plenty of time to address issues as they come up, because it can be quite complicated, and there's a lot of interaction between our team and the customer team.
We built a team of Total Care implementation team. It consists of 2 CCIE engineers and a project manager. The project with this particular customer took actually over 4 months, but both sides were dedicated and willing to go through the process to develop a positive outcome.
We worked really closely with the Cisco team on getting super aggressive on our pricing and getting that in front of the customer well in advance of the renewal, so that we could negotiate and talk through the different aspects of the renewal. And then when it came time to renewal, they decided to stick with GDT, and we won the multi-year renewal. It was a success. you.